Hi, I'm Angela Sullivan, a self-taught artist. My art can be seen at asullivanart.com or angelasacrylics.blogspot.com. I hope you'll go and sign up for my newsletter. It's full of useful information. Today I'll do a painting from start to finish to show you how I apply thick, rich color. Hope you have a good day. Happy painting. Today we're going to be painting a clear glass vase with a touch of something else. We'll see. Glass, I think a lot of people have trouble with, and I think it's because they take such a direct approach. They kind of want to draw it in, and that just don't work. So I'm going to show you today how I paint glass. We're going to paint a small glass jar. I'm using burnt umber to draw it in with. This is the top. And we can go back and fix all this. This is an indication of a stopper. Why I started there, I don't know, but sounds good. Alright, we're just going to draw our bottle in, or jar, a little decanter, whatever you want to call it. Sometimes, since I don't trace it and I just draw it in, sometimes it'll be a little bit not quite perfect, and that's okay, because we can always go back in the background and change it. We're going to draw a little ellipse right here, just to indicate that that goes back. Let's draw right here another ellipse. People with ellipses, when they go to draw them, sometimes they'll try to draw them like this, like an eye with 2 points. That is wrong. You always want to make sure. Some people say just do a smooth round movement. I draw it in, and then I'll just work on it as I develop the painting. I think that's going to work for us right there. And we're going to draw a cherry. There. We'll draw it right over where I drew that example. There. How about that? And we will come over with this cherry. I think we'll do it, the stem, just like that. Maybe not. Maybe I'll fix that. There you go. Alright. Now next we're going to establish our the line of our table area. When you're doing this, you want to do it on thirds, or way up at the top, at the bottom, but never let that line right there that's going to be a dividing factor fall in the center. We're going to do ours right here. I'm just going to go across through everything. There you go. Alright, now let's or keep a paper towel folded in my hand at all times to wipe that excess paint off of my brush, so it keeps your solvent or thinner from getting as dirty. Alright, we're going to take some alizarin crimson and mix it with a little ultramarine blue and a touch of cad yellow light. And we're just kind of going to mix that with our brush on our palette, and we're going to establish the dark side of that cherry. That's a little too dark, so I'm just going to add a little more alizarin. A little touch there, there, and dark where that stem goes. Alright, now we're going to take some pure alizarin and come in here and put our middle value on that cherry. There we go. And we're going to take a touch of cad red light and alizarin. Make us a lighter little red. There we go. And we're going to touch a side on that. There we go. Cherry. Is that what that says to you? There you go. Alright, cleaning my brush. I'm going to come in. I'm going to mix, for a background color, what I like to do is mix usually equal amounts of ultramarine blue, alizarin crimson, cad yellow light. What that does is gives me a very dark grayed paint color. Kind of like, you can call it mud if you want to, but when you add, I mix zinc white into that and make a mid-tone value and a light value, and that's what I do a lot of times for my backgrounds. So that's what we're going to do right now. We're going to establish our back line across across this this bottom. This will be dark, but we'll go back in there and fix it in a bit. Alright, now just continue with that dark. We're going to go up like this. I'm going to put a little thinner in my paint because it's a little thick for this. Leave your lines where we did that vase so you can tell. Alright, there's your cherry. There we go. Our line is still pretty straight there. Alright, we're going to mix some white into that mixture I told you about, and you're going to make a lighter color. We're going to come in, I drew that cherry stem, but we're going to go and put that completely back in later. So just go over that and don't try to save it. Get some light in that same background color. And like I said, on your jar, leave your areas where you got that burn umber. We're going to go back and fix those, but you need that to define your jar. Alright, there's that. Get some even really light of that same mixture. Add more zinc white. Let's put this line in right there. Let's go ahead and we're going to come to the sides right there because that we're going to have as a stopper. And we could reclaim it later, but we're going to do it right now. There you go. With some light in that same mixture again. You can, I also have a blog, Sullivan, Angela's Acrylics.blogspot.com, and on that site I have where you can sign up for my newsletter. It is filled with information that would be helpful, and I would appreciate it if you would sign up for that. If you like this video, leave a comment. I do daily paintings and have since 2009, and I do post on that blog a daily painting every day. I think I've maybe missed 3 days since 2009 of posting a painting. I also am available in the Southern United States to teach workshops. If you're interested, just contact me at asullivanart.yahoo.com. Alright, I'm still going in just with that same color, and we're just kind of right now filling our canvas. This is a 6x6 edge wrapped canvas. I like to paint small a lot. I also do large works, but because I paint so much, I do a lot of small things. My style is loose. Alright, we're going to keep our line, maintain that line right there, and we're going to come in with still some light. Whenever I'm painting, I do use bold, long strokes, and then when I get finished, I will go back in and just make sure that there's no lines that are intersecting that shouldn't be, that would be distracting to the eye. But sometimes you can't tell it right when you're putting that stroke down. Alright, and there's our little ellipse. And we'll go back in. This will all make sense in just a few minutes. Whoops, I globbed that on. Alright. Oh, I see something that I forgot to do, and I'll show you how to fix it. I should have, before I did this table in, I should have established my shadows under my cherry and behind my glass. I did not do that. So, it's kind of probably good because it'll show you what to do in case that happens to you. We're going to take and wash our brush really good. And with our thinner or solvent on that brush, I really want this, we're going to scrape out some paint right there. I know that don't look like we did, but we did. We're going to scrape out some paint. I'm going to clean that brush again. Ugh. And we're going to scrape out some right here too. And you can't tell it because it's stained our canvas, but it's actually pulling that paint off. There. that is what we want to. Alright, we're going to take our darkest dark that we just mixed, and we are going to put in right there as a shadow. And we're going to put some, we're not going to put it as solid, we're going to put some right there. And we'll go ahead and put some in there. We can make that darker if we need to in a bit, but I think that'll do us for right now. Alright. Now, we're going to go in here and work that hard line out right there. Get some more of that lightest light out of that mixture. And we're going to go over this. We want that hint of a dark right there, just to show us the separator line or a division line or where our table is, whatever you want to call it, but that's what we're doing. Alright. Now, we're just going to kind of bring this table up to that, and that'll just soften that edge is all it does. Gets rid of that hard edge. There. Alright, we can actually come on up in there and work that out a little bit. Let's take some of that dark right there and put right here on the back of our ellipse. There we go. See how that established that water line a little bit? That worked out pretty good. Alright, now we're going to take some of this darkest out of that same mixture that we made with the alizarin, ultramarine, and the cad yellow light. We're going to put some right there because that's going to be in shadow. We're going to put a little line of, oh, I should have established that first, but that's okay. We're going to put a little hint right there. We're just going to randomly put some of this color. We want to put some right there. We want to put a little bit right there. And this is just that same background color that we're using. Right there. Alright, we're going to put a touch right here. And then, let's put a little right there. And right there. Okay. I just wiped through that because this little dark area met that back line and it distracted the eye. And so, maybe you caught that, but that's why I wiped down through that. Because you can always fix anything that just doesn't look quite right. You just fix it. Okay. Now, alright, we're going to take some Indian yellow with a little burnt sienna. I don't use burnt sienna a whole lot. It's a nice rich color, but I usually just mix something close out of cad red and light and cad yellow, maybe a little alizarin or something in it. But we're just going to use burnt sienna for now. We're going to do this down. This is establishing that stopper. Here, a little bit more. Keeping it kind of dark. We're just going to come down and leave the edges of your glass showing right there. And that's your stopper. Clearing my brush again. I'm just going to go ahead and go in with some cad yellow light with a touch of cad red light, and it makes like an orangey looking. We're going to just touch the edges of that, and that's going to add our highlight for that on that stopper. Clean your brush again. Go back in your dark color of your background. We're going to add a touch right there, a little, add some lighter, go right here on that side, and this side, and down. Alright, that's our glass bottle. Let's work on our cherry a little bit. Let's put some cad yellow light, cad red light, and a touch of alizarin crimson. And when I say a touch of something, it means just a touch of that color and more of the others. Alright, we're going to highlight this cherry right there, and we're going to give ourselves a reflective light right there. Let's make it a little better. There's our cherry. I like those rough, so I'm just going to leave it rough like that with that globbed paint on it. Okay. Now, we're going to go in. I'm using a palette knife. This one, I don't know if you can see well. It's got a sharp edge. I don't know what size it is, but I paint with this a lot. I usually paint and do a lot of finishing touches with this palette knife. I'm going to go straight into that zinc white, pure zinc white. And I know that some people are cringing saying you don't use pure white, but I can use it if I want to. It's my painting. There's my bottle. I'm adding a little touch of that white right there. A little hint of it right there. I'm adding just a little touch right there. We're going to add a little across this front line right there. Broken. It just reads better if it's broken. We're going to add a little bit back here. This is where we would have some reflective light. And we don't want too much to distract, but we want a little there. We want a little right here at our table area, I think. And I think that's about it. That looks pretty good. Alright, now we're going to take a glob of white paint and on our thing. We're going to establish where the light is hitting this vase. Just keep in mind that that light area cannot end somewhere that we already have a line. I kind of smeared this. I'm going to go back in and fix it. There we go. Alright. Now, I even want it a little more pronounced, so I'm going to put a little bit bigger glob. Alright, there we go. Now, let's go just right there. Alright, I like the bottle. Now, we're going to go in with some cad yellow light and a little bit more cad red light and make a really light, bright color. And we're going to just add that right there to our stopper. There we go. We're also going to take some of that cad yellow light and cad red light and make a orangey and a little bit of alizarin. And we're going to make a little bit brighter highlight on that cherry. There we go. Now, I'm going to go ahead, because I see it, I left white areas around that cherry. We're going to go ahead and cut in right here and just soften those edges. I'm going into the background and just bringing it up. Because see, you'll see I just got red into that. That's okay. Because nothing can, I hardly ever do anything that I can't fix. Alright, we're just going to come back in with background color and get rid of where you can see that red. And that works pretty good. There you go. Now, oops, we're going to drag this cherry stem. This is called a paint eraser. It's got a sharp chiseled edge, and this is rubber, and it's flexible rubber. But it does really good on bigger paintings. I will sign my name with this, and it just scratches the paint out. Actually, we're going to come into our cherry on that chiseled edge, and we're going to bring our stem. There we go. That gets rid of that paint. Now we're going to go back in. I think we'll just actually go in with that dark purplish that we made. Out of your ultramarine blue, your alizarin crimson, and cad yellow, we're going to go in here and put some dark. There's our cherry stem. Now, we're going to take our palette knife and take some of that Indian yellow with a little bit of cad yellow light, and we're just going to touch some little hints across that. You can't even really see it that good. I've got some cad yellow light with some ultramarine blue, and it makes a green, and we're just going to put a little glob right there at the end. And that's a little bit too much. Let's go darker. There. Cad yellow light. Cad red light. There we go. And that's okay. I'm going to cut this in a little bit just to make it sharper. Okay. Now, we're going to take just the speck of zinc white and put right here on our cherry, because I want a little bit more reflect. reflected light. There we go. And actually, I'm going to put a little touch of white on that stem itself, right there. Alright, now, we're going in and soften these shadows on the table. We're going back into that light mixture we made with our background color. Kind of cut this in. We want to get rid of those hard edges. And here too. Keep your brush wiped to get rid of that. There we go. Your shadow is going to be darker right at your object, whatever you're painting. I like that. I like that area that lets the light shine through right there. So I think we're going to leave that alone. There's that. Let's fix this edge right there too. That cherry. There we go. And then I think we'll take with the brush, not the palette knife, and put some bright white right here, like that's reflecting through on the table. Kind of level that out because you don't want it to grab attention, but you just want it to be there. Just little hints of color right there. There we go. Alright, now I'm going to take some zinc white, pure zinc white. We're going to put it right at this edge on the table, like our table is reflecting some light. We're also going to put some right here in front of this cherry and kind of leave it. I really want to put a little bit right here at the back edge of this shadow. Not that much. There. There you go. Might have got a little too much. Okay. Now, this is finishing up. I'm going back in with some alizarin with a little bit of cad red because I want to reflect some of this cherry onto this jar. We're going to do it right there. We're also going to make it a little lighter and do some over here like a crossover highlight. That actually is more orangey, which could be fine because of that stopper. Here's some more alizarin. Let's just go right there. There we go. I think that's good. I don't know what that is right there. Let's fix that a little bit. Alright. I hope you enjoyed the painting today. If you did, just be sure and leave a comment and look for more paintings by me. Now, again, this is Angela Sullivan. I hope you have a wonderful day and happy painting.